Niggas getting money. Real money.
It's a Scoozy beat.
Eastman, I thought all the records I would break in school. Dropped out, studied Robert De Niro and Raging Bull. Even every beat could tell you how he paid in full. Know the real story, but I'm still a fan of paid in full. Drop, blowing smoke out. Tenants on hard to see. Combo expensive. Whoever said talk is cheap, pardon me. Gemini mental, nobody talk to me. You ain't spend them nights in the dark with me or in the park with me. Peanut butter guts, all I'm thinking about is bread. She paid attention to my nuts, and all I think about is head. Driving past cemeteries got me thinking about the dead. Mama told me I need therapy, I think it's in my head. Used to pill pop, everybody scattered when it's still pop. I used to take long walks, Jill Scott still shot. A lot of homies turned into angels before they time. You don't know the shit niggas been through before they shine. I was about to go back to trap and I saw the signs. With powder that looked like cake mix, I'm ducking Hines, dotted lines, put my name on a few, bringing a check in. Still know some niggas selling dust out of a West End. I still get arrested just hearing shots from an FM. Dog food around with coke too, what's your preference? Too long, cafe 22, what's for breakfast? On the highway you to lose. Watch your moves when you exit.
Speaking of a master plan,
just keep it secret. Everybody doubting you, fuck it, just keep believing. They came out with a race, so now the stars I can reach them. Talk to shooter all the time, I tell them, dog, you the reason. So many handcuffs, so many calls from the precinct. Just to wake up in Dubai, blowing weed, that shit illegal. In first class, headphones blasting, beanie chic, 30,000 feet above, make you laugh and shit for no reason. My escape took a good plan, I can show you the way. Really trying to get some money, shit, I can show you the day. I'm a coach, if you trying to win, I can show you the play. What I gross, got them looking like they seen something gross. People staring at me, looking like they really seen a goat. If it's real coke that came on a plane or a boat. If the candidate not lame, I might vote. Trying to get the candidate, the state's doing the most. Hang you out of chopper, Alex Sos and Valentino Coke and be as good as the best of them, but as bad as the worst. So don't touch me. You better move over. You can be as good as the best of them, but as bad as the worst. So don't touch me. You better move over. I hear that.
What's up? You don't know what niggas have been through before they shine. What's up, L? What's an L in the building? Ruthless is in the building. Tyre Gray. Tyre's in the building today. That's a good thing. Me and mine's always. What's up, baby? I seen Cake Adore in the building. I seen Mr. Triggs in the building. Yeah, what's good, y'all? What's good? How's everybody doing on a Sunday? That's a lot of, yo, man, I'm going to get right to it. I got something coming. I'm going to do one of my one of my stories, my prison joints. This joint is going to be about a state prison I was in, one of the most notorious prisons on the East Coast. Actually, it's called Graterford State Prison, SCI Graterford. But before I get into that, I'm going to address a few things. Shout out to the HKC for holding it down. You know what I mean? First, I want to talk about the dot B binary code. You know what I mean? We have we hold binary code in a high regard over here at the HKC. So if like my folks, like I said, L and me and mines and moms, if they see something, they gonna like address it before it gets out of hand. It ain't like they coming at you. It's just that they hold you in a different regard than they might hold other people. Like, and that's why they might come at you a certain type of way. But every time a person comes at somebody, don't mean they come in with the intentions of having some type of beef with them. That's why I have to let binary know that since we hold you in such regard, binary, we would never come at you with no smoke. Like I told you, man, we on YouTube. I would just stop. We just, we ain't got to deal with one another on YouTube, and that would be that. It ain't got to be no back and forth and all that kind of bullshit, bro. But that would never happen to us because I think we came a long way. Like, you know what I'm saying? I would, you know what I mean? I fuck with you. I like you. You know what I mean? You're a good guy, man. You know what I'm saying? I think so. You know what I mean? And that's, that's personally. I just think you that kind of guy. You know what I mean? I think you do. I think you are, you know what you do on here. You know what's going on. You know what I mean? You're adaptable. I expect him to be him. No need to beef. Right. That's facts. Al, you right. Oh man must be feeling some type of way about getting his jam session knocked out last night. M3, let me explain something to you about my jam session. Who knocked my jam session out? Because like I told, if y'all remember the first time I ever played a jam session, I told y'all I don't care if nobody's in the chat room when I'm doing my jam session. It's music is therapeutic for me. It's a Sunday and YouTube let me come on here and play the music that I like. That's what I'm gonna do. So I don't know if anybody, I wouldn't know if anybody blocked my jam session because I don't care who's, I appreciate the people showing up and interacting in the chat room, but if they didn't, grown man still be here doing that. You know what I mean? So what do you mean by somebody knocked me out? Somebody did that. Explain that to me, man, Mines. Yeah, Leah. I thought the Leah, when I know when I played a Leah, that got me definitely knocked out, yo. But other than that, like far as on YouTube, you can't I don't know what other people purpose are. You know what I mean? But my purpose is when I come on here is either tell you a story about my life, play some music, all the other bullshit. Like, I'm glad that the girl breaking the culture said she didn't want no smoke with me and mines. I'm glad she said that because we don't want no smoke with you. The problem with you was you decided to get, I don't know if people remember that Breaking the Culture decided to get with T Pre and drag me, you know what I mean, and my family. They decided to do that. So she got caught in me and mine's hairline for that, which was way out of pocket. She had no reason to get with her friend T Pre because they were very good friends at the time when they thought they could come for me. You know what I mean? When they thought they that, and that's what happened. That's a fact. You know what I mean? I put both of them in their place. Now y'all see where T Pre at. You know what I mean? Y'all see what's going on with her, and Breaking the Culture is still doing what she do. We ain't got no problem with that. And I'm glad she said she don't want no smoke. So we ain't got no smoke for her. We just want people to stay in their place because we stay in ours. We know our lane. You know what I mean? And our lane is we don't give a fuck about the views. We don't give a fuck about the numbers. We care about interacting with the people that come to this chat and decompress. You know, people who want to just kick it about real life topics. We ain't got no time for all that. Like, that's why I shout out to Slander God, man. You know, Slander God said, man, listen, fuck all that bullshit. We ain't doing nothing but here to drag one another down. I'm not about that. That's not what I'm into. I can't even fake it and be into that. But if that's what everybody into, hey, do that. That's all good. And the thing about him, he been on that shit from day one. And I can applaud that because he's always stood on his fuckery. You know what I mean? So shout out to him. But you don't, if that's not your thing, my thing is not dragging people down. That ain't my thing. My thing, let me back y'all track for a minute. The reason why I came on this YouTube scene in this fucking sector, I didn't give a fuck about no Umar Johnson, no Leonard Honor, no KKC. I ain't give a fuck about none of them niggas. Alma S, how are you this Sunday? I ain't give a fuck about none of them. Max V, I didn't know none of them motherfuckers. All I know was my wife said niggas was disrespecting her online. That's how I got here. They decided they wanted to bring my child in. That's how I stayed here. None of that shit is no longer going on. You know what I mean? I ain't heard nobody say nothing about me. I don't care about what you say about me. I don't give a fuck. But y'all ain't talking about my child and none of that shit. So I'm good. That was the only reason why I was here. But since being here, I found out that, yo, I can come on here and like it's therapeutic for a guy like me, being the things that I've been through, be able to come on here and talk my talk and get things out. You know what I mean? I ain't got my life is a book, a movie. So I know I can come on here and talk my shit. And the thing about it is, I don't care who's listening or how many people is listening. I'm here. I like it. I like to do that. You know what I mean? I don't like to be on here arguing with no niggas. And here, that's another point. I'm glad. Shout out to my folks, you know what I mean, who listen to everybody, who goes to everybody chat and make sure ain't nobody talking malicious about people in the AKC. I appreciate my peoples for doing that. And they sent me a clip on Smoke. You know what I mean? And shout out to Smoke, because Smoke said something that I really see. That's why I hope people understand what they be saying. I hope they don't be talking out the side of their neck. And you need to rewind what you say. And like people say, stand on your nuts. Smoke said that if he's not going to chin check a person personally, then their name will not be in his mouth. So if Smoke don't knock on my motherfucking door, he shouldn't be speaking my name or any other man's name. If he got a problem with somebody, because he said in his live, if I don't chin check a nigga personally, I won't have his name in my mouth. So that man should not have his name in my name in his mouth. Do y'all agree with that? You know, because like I said, like, I'm not unadulterated truth. What's good, brother? How are you? Let me say, bro, peace to you, bro, to your million minds in the chat, listening and looking forward to this content. I was visiting my uncle in Graterford as a young boy. Real story, kept my ass on the straight and narrow. Yes, sir, brother. Yes, sir. That Graterford is a real joint, man. I'm going to get into it after I, just get this little stuff out the air, man. You know what I mean? It's just stuff out the air. So, yeah, brother, you know what I mean? It's no reason for you to be talking about me, you know what I mean? Because if you got a problem with me, I know you're going to chin check me personally. You know what I'm saying? So we pass all that. That's my bike punk. Nah, we never, that we would never do that. See, that's why this prison story going to tell you a lot about me. How like loyalty is a big thing to me. And I know people might not like when I say this, man, but I'm going to say it because I stand on loyalty. Shout out to Anti-Afro and Rev G. They are loyal to one another, and I can appreciate that. Just like I can appreciate the HKC and the loyalty that they have for one another over here, I can appreciate that. You know what I mean? And that's all I be on, man. So yeah, with that being said, yo, it's been a lovely day for me. I was running around a little bit and people were sending me the clips. But yeah, man, I ain't got time for it, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just, the world is no longer under so many restrictions, man. I don't have a whole lot of YouTube pages, and I'm not making a whole lot of money on YouTube. I've never lost a day of sleep over YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I walk in a bag with a building, and it's $25 to $20 for each blank. You feel, hey, and me and mine's, y'all understand that lingo? Every time I walk in the building with a bag and blink, it's 20 to 25. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's real things happening. I don't have time for the bullshit on YouTube these days. And back then, and when 2019 and 2021, yeah, niggas had time for it back then, bro. And I told y'all that shit. This shit is over with. Like, niggas is getting healthier. You know what I mean? We getting back in the mix. If your whole life is consumed with this YouTube shit and you know all the ins and outs of that shit, you know what I mean? Then do you. But I'm going to be on here on Sundays at 8 o'clock with the nice jams. I'm going to be dropping my content. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be doing what I like to do, regardless of anybody else. Anybody else. And that's what y'all gotta understand, man. You know what I mean? If you got talent, the talent ain't in dissecting the sector, because if you take that shit outside, don't nobody know them motherfuckers. Y'all talking to each other, but y'all dragging one another down. That's yay, let's drag each other down. Ain't y'all down far enough? Yeah, you on YouTube doing, I got a real life out here. Why the fuck would I lose sleep about some shit on YouTube? You know what I'm saying? When I gotta go in certain neighborhoods around my hood with a gun, nigga. And I ain't losing no sleep over that. And why the fuck would I not stand on any motherfucking say I say? Ask my federal and my state judge if I'm a stand-up nigga. If I said it, I said it. I don't give a fuck. If I said anything about any motherfucking body and you got a receipt on that motherfucker, Smoke, drop every motherfucking receipt you got, my man. I don't give a fuck. That shit ain't gonna give me $1. It ain't gonna give you $1. It ain't gonna do nothing, nigga. It ain't gonna do nothing for nobody. Because at the end of the day, it's 2023, and I don't give a fuck about what I said about a nigga. You got to be crazy. Move on. Go, skedaddle. Skedaddle, or knock on my door like you said you would. Other than that, skedaddle, man. I'm not the one. I'm not the one. I'm not him. You doing what I said you would do. Talk about me, then you want to talk about my wife and all that. Bro, please stop it. You're married too. You got a wife too. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do those things, bro. That's not my style, nigga. I get money in the streets for real. From day one. I'm not like you, right? I'm not like you. You a college boy. I was in the penitentiary. We're nothing alike. Nothing alike, bro. You're right. And I get it. I understand that. You deal with PTSD. I don't. I'm stable everywhere. Everything is official with me. I don't have no kind of issues like that. I'm a stable-minded man. You know what I mean? I don't need no medications. I don't need, you know what I mean? The only therapy I need is the therapy that I get. And that's coming on here playing my music on Sunday nights. You know what I mean? My day, every day starts between 4 a.m. and 5 a.m. That's when it starts. I got children and grandchildren, and I deal with all of them. I see all my kids. I don't have them kind of issues that you may have, brother. So don't try to put nothing that you holding on to on me. I'm done with you. I'm not Corey. We're not going to have no back and forth. I'm not, nah, bro. You said that if you ain't going to chin check a nigga personally, you're not going to have his name in his mouth. So I understand that, and I'm with all of that. You shouldn't have my name in your mouth. You know what I mean? If any problem you have with me, you should be dancing on my block like you was doing on Flacco's. You should be going up there to the park asking for Wesley TG like you did with Binary. You should be going to Max V. You should be down my street taking pictures of my block like you did with Max V. That's what you should be doing. Give me that. If you're going to talk to me and you want to be a tough guy now, do that. Give me that same courtesy you did for them. You ain't got to be on here online trying to bring out some shit that I said about another motherfucker, because I don't give a fuck about what I said about another motherfucker. That shit ain't going to get you nothing, nigga. If you got a problem with me, do what you say you're going to do and knock on my motherfucking door or come to my motherfucking block like you did all the rest of them niggas. Or leave that YouTube shit alone. You're a YouTuber, guy. I'm not. I came on here defending my wife. I like YouTube now. You know what I mean? I'm not in your lane. I don't care what you do. You know what I mean? I don't fuck with you. I don't fuck with your kind. Simple as that. I'm not going to talk about you like I haven't been. You keep my name in your mouth. Don't talk about me. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say nothing about your wife. I hope you don't say nothing about mine again. You know what I'm saying? Keep doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? I've never been a professional ding-dong rider, and I'm not going to start on YouTube. You know what I mean? Nobody that ever crossed the line with me, you'll never see me shouting them out. A motherfucker drag my motherfucking kids, my motherfucking wife. You ain't gonna never see me clapping for them motherfuckers. I don't give a fuck who I don't like. That's not the kind of man I am. I don't dick hop just because I don't like another person. You know what I mean? I'm a man and I stand on my own. You know what I mean? And I appreciate the people that's official and authentic and understand where I'm coming from. I ain't got no smoke for that nigga. How? How? Look like he been eating bread and water. Yo, that's what I mean. Like, bro, like you don't look like the same guy you looked at like before, bro. You look like you need another rest. You look like you've been stressing hard, bro. You look like you lost a lot of weight. You know what I mean? I hope this YouTube can't be that serious, man. It can't be. It can't be. I can never take it. How can I ever take a L on YouTube, man? I don't understand what y'all get it, man. People get information on out in the real world. I know those type of shit happen. People send false DHS reports on people on the real world and all that shit. I know, and now it's falling all. Hey, man, if that's how people plan, that's all I'm. Well, I don't want to be a part of none of that. I'm good with that. I'm good with all the fuckery. Y'all don't understand. My life is not like y'all. I've been involved in it, and for real, I got the scars to prove it. And it ain't from no motherfucking lipo or no BBLs. My wounds are real. So we not gotta come on YouTube and have these first summer. You guys just it just behooves me how people go from being these intellectual degrees in college, and I've been doing this all my life and that all my life, and now you the stugged out tough guy who will kill a motherfucker and beat a motherfucker up and all that. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe none of that, man. Because if you would have came in the door like that, maybe it would be more convincing to me. People stop being friends. It happened. Just let it go, right, L? Like, just let it go. Let it go. I'm good with that. I don't have no problem with that. Come back a year and it's all right. Yeah, it's good. Nah, but the guy said he got 3 channels. He making all this money and all this, but he got this long Santa Claus list and people. Hey, listen, bro, I don't care about none of that shit that happened back then. Long as ain't nobody talking about my wife and my motherfucking child, man. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I ain't to be played with. Ask the guy you got all the information from. Ask Alan Logic. We ain't to be played with the fuck over here with the bullshit. Ask T-Pre, Breaking Code. They all know that we're not to be fucked with over here on no bullshit because we ain't with it. So throw the stone somewhere else, man. Ain't nothing personal. I don't have no personal relationship with you. Grown man in M3 was over chilling. Now he went right. Oh shit, man. Ain't nobody on that. Ain't nobody on that old shit. I don't know where they getting their information from. Like somebody says, nah, man, ain't nobody saying nothing to you, man. You're insignificant, man. You insignificant. You not, yeah, like do you? I'm still crying. Gotta like, yeah, come on, man. Don't nobody be worried if these dudes start trying to be attached to you because you don't no longer speak on them. I'm out in the real world, man. The fuck, man. All these clicks and views I get when I step out my motherfucking door. You think I'm worried about some YouTube bullshit, nigga? Nigga came here, defended his motherfucking wife, my motherfucking child. You know what I mean? All that other bullshit, miss me with it, bro. You ain't defend your motherfucking child, that's on you. You ain't defend your motherfucking mother, that's on you. Don't hold it on me. Now these same niggas that drag them, you are they friends. Cool, I'm cool with that, bro. I just don't do it. And I don't have friends like that. I don't fuck with people who fuck with people that fuck them. Why would I do that? Just because I don't like a motherfucker. We on why Nikki borrowing money from niggas. Yeah, y'all on something else. The sector all the way over there. You know what I mean? Like, you got real ops out here. Flacco said he was gonna piss on your dead homie grave and you cried about it. You know what I mean? Like, yo, now that's your best friend. Like, get out of here with that, bro. Get out of here with that. I ain't with all that. You cried more about that man saying that than you did about Max V calling your mother a crackhead. Like, stop playing with me, man. I ain't got time for this shit, man. I'm either on some motherfucking body clock or every time my phone ring, I'm gonna hit $1, nigga. YouTube is where I come to chill. I ain't swinging no motherfucking in the air at nobody, man. Wait till my motherfucking time. We ain't nothing. That's why I love when people say what they say in these goddamn streams. I'm glad that man said that. I'm glad he made that statement. If y'all go back and listen, he clearly stated, if I got a problem with a nigga personally, I will chin check him personally. Other than that, I won't have that man name in his mouth. Y'all got to hold that man to that, man. Or I'll tell y'all he in front of my door dead. It's one or the other. It's one or the other. Other than that, we ain't got no smoke. You know what I mean? So you can go on and do your millions of views and content and all that. And I'm going to stay in this old little corner and continue to do me. You know what I mean? And fuck with the people who fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? Binary, Doc B, that's my man. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate Doc B. And I ain't got no smoke with him. You know what I'm saying? Breaking the culture. You doing what you doing. We ain't got no smoke for you. You know what I'm saying? Who else? Shout out the slander guy who's standing on his positively hate, and he's about dragging black people down, and he want all y'all to get involved with it. Shout out to him and all the people who's about that. DJ Drama and everybody else. Shout out to all of them. You know what I mean? But don't y'all, I know y'all like to do y'all thing and everything, but I'm just gonna ask y'all in a respectful manner. At 8 o'clock on Sundays, I'm doing a jam session. Y'all work around that, please. Please work around that. I know a drama, he over there, he give out time slots, and I ain't got nothing to do with none of that. But just try to stay out of the way at the 8 o'clock Sundays, because I'm gonna be doing my jam session that I've been doing before any of that, before y'all even. So don't be disrespectful. Have some type of diplomacy. You know what I mean? Have some type of you know what I mean? Just you know what I mean? Watch your step. That's all, really. Because it's corny. You know what I mean? It's corny. It's corny, man. Y'all ain't been doing that shit. Don't start nothing new. Don't disrespect me over here. You know what I mean? It's no need to. It's no need to. Now, with that being said, I'm about to get to my stuff. You know what I mean? Give me a minute, y'all.
you know about.
Yo, I'm back. Yeah, you see this, y'all? Y'all see the picture up there? Y'all see that picture? That's a solitary confinement cell. That's a death row cell. That's a cell where they put you when you what they call unruly and disorderly and things that's the words they use in there. Unruly, disorderly. That's what they call you. And they said solitary confinement is a place to learn patience and redemption. That's what it's in the books. That's what they classify it at. Let me tell you about this joint, man. Graterford State Prison. Unadulterated truth said he used to go up there and see his uncle when he was a kid. And by him going up there to see his uncle, that shit kept him on a straight path, man. So you got to know this place is real. You know what I mean? So yeah. It was an old prison. It was built back in like 1929. Now check this out. It was the largest max prison on this side. It was designed to house 3,500 people, 3,500 people. When I got there, it was 7,707 people in there. It was let me get this right. It was 777,243 people there, over 5 times the maximum of what they built this place for. So it's like people on top of people in there. That's why when I tell you about like how you'll become able to hear conversations through so much clutter and noise, and if you just lock in, you acquire those skills being in places like that. The window really that big and no, yeah, yup, yes, yup. But guess what you looking out to? Nothing. Ain't nothing out there but a big ass wall. You can't see over the wall. You can't see over the wall. So yeah, it was like super crowded in this joint. You know what I mean? Bernard Hopkins, the professional middleweight championship, he was in there for a minute. He used to box in there. That's where he learned a lot of his skills at. But Heads did some time down Graterford. Who else probably famous y'all might know that was down there? Meek was down there. Meek was down the fort. AR Ab, y'all know Ab, he was down there. You know what I mean? A lot of the but for our street guys, y'all wouldn't know because y'all not from Philly. That's where most of them wind up when they go to state prison. And they did some like extortion, murderers. It's a maximum security prison. So it's only the most dangerous people there. Like, I recall one time when I was going on a block down Graterford, right? And I'm about to go to the block, and the guard, I asked the guard, I said, is there anything else I need? He said, you got 2 knives? I was like, what? He was like, yeah, you're gonna need 2 knives when you go on that block. The guard told me this. He said I was gonna need 2 knives when I go on the block. That's how crazy this jail was. They had like, it's estimated that 344 people per 1,000 die per year. They die in there. So 344 people per 1,000 get murdered in prison. That's why I always tell people, like, if you got anybody in there, reach out to them, you know, tell them hi, send them a $10 or send them something, man, because you can lose your life in there so easy that when you come in the prison, I probably told y'all this 100 times. When I first came in the prison, coming to the show, my love and support. What's up, bro, man? Uncle Al, what's up, man? Glad to see you, man. Yeah, man, like, Yeah, like you peoples, man. You good, man. Like, we'll never have an issue, or the people in our chat, like L or me and mine, you'll never have an issue with them that you can't resolve, because you're a real man. I see, you know what I mean? And they're women. So and you're not only that, you're a professional when it, but fuck all the YouTube shit. You know what I mean? So you can always, ain't gotta be always the beef, bro. You know that. I didn't do no biz at the fort. I know, Rec, you went straight to the feds, right? I remember. Listen, I remember when you was I remember Roof, when I was down Graterford and I was about to go to the feds, and they told me you was down Fish Street, because I remember when y'all had got y'all situation and shit. I remember your situation. I remember what happened. You know what I mean? Yeah, you was down because my nephew, he was over Farrington. You was over Farrington with him for a minute, right? For me, man, it was kind of rough, man, because like I had a homicide in the state, right? So when you got a homicide in the state, when they send you to the feds, man, they send you to the worst place, man. They send you to a place like a place in Beaumont Tech they call Bloody Beaumont. This shit is vicious, man. They send you to Leavenworth and shit like that, man. Like, niggas be getting, yo, man, like, Graterford, man, was so open, right, that people you can get a knife made in the metal shop if you could pay for it. Like, people actually made knives in the metal shop and sold them. You know what I mean? Because at times you might really need it. You might really need that joint. What up, bro? Always a pleasure. Hope all is. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, that's for K Cador. What's up, K? How you, bro? So yeah, man. Like, so when I came through Graterford, man, the thing that really got to me, like I said, was the intake. You know what I mean? How the first thing they try to do is emasculate you. Good evening, Living Queen. Happy to see you on a Sunday. Good to see you. They try to emasculate you as a man, by strip naked, get butt naked, open your mouth, stick out your tongue, wiggle your ears, lift up your penis, lift up your scrotums. You know what I mean? Turn around, lift up the bottom of your feet and wiggle your toes. Bend over, spread your butt cheeks and cough. Like, yo, and listen, like that used to be, and listen, that's hard for certain individuals, and I was one of them. That was hard for me coming from where I came from, man. But that's the way they emasculate you and shit. You gotta suck that in, you know what I mean? Cause that's an automatic test right there. You know what I'm saying? Then you go in, and then the questions they ask you, like, do you have any enemies in this prison? You goddamn right you got enemies in the prison. Absolutely. But if you say, you can't say that, because then you're going to be labeled a protective custody. You need to protect. So, I mean, you can say that, and a lot of individuals do, but like I was just raised different. And like, I tell y'all, man, like, that wall was so big. I never seen doors that big. That shit was frightening, bro. I tell you, man, that shit was frightening and shit. But fear has always been a thinking man's best asset. You know what I mean? Because ask Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson tell you all the time, man, I was scared to death when I got in that ring. You know what I'm saying? And being coming from that school, that boxing school, that fear factor, that's a beautiful thing to be able to have under control. Controlled fear, I'll kill you with the controlled fear. That's, you know what I mean? But anyway, the questions they ask you: do you have any enemies? Are you homosexual? Do you think you'll kill yourself in here? And then they ask you, where do you want your body sent? And you looking at them like, what do you mean? Like, my body sent? And he looking at you like, yeah, where you want your body? And then it registers like, oh, he telling me that I can go in here and get killed, and they need somebody to claim my body. You know what I'm saying? And then that was the easy part, because next thing you know, they open up a gate and it's 1,000 other men just with all this noise, man. And they just, everybody, you a newbie, you new. They just looking at you. Everybody like you. It's the crazy way people look at you when you first come into jail. And that's why I made it a point. I never watched for new guys coming into jail. I never got on that. Niggas used to run, yeah, the new niggas coming in there, run on the gate just to look like, you know what I mean? I was never into that. You know what I mean? I don't, you know? And then they put you on the block. And it's whatever cell is empty, they put you in. So a nigga could be convicted of 2 murders. And they'll just throw you in there for a robbery. They just throw you in the cell with them. It doesn't matter, because all y'all consider maximum. They'll put you in there with a booty bandit. You know what I mean? And you a little frail, you might be a little frail guy. They just throw you in any cell, man. And that's another time I've seen a lot of people don't even make it through their first day because of the person that they got put in the cell in. Because in jail, sometimes it's not even about being physical, it's manipulation. People play mind games in there with you. You know what I mean? The noise alone is, the noise alone is it's something you have to adjust to. Scary, very scary, man. But so like they throw you in the cell with anybody, you know, and if you've never been in that environment, you really don't know what to do. I had to escort a soldier to the brink after he was convicted at court-martial. Those slamming cells were so chilling. They transferred him to Leavenworth. Yes, Living Queen. And you know, Leavenworth, man, is like one of the most notorious federal institutions, man. Like, that shit is, and it's so old. It's like an old big ass dungeon. It's just gloomy. You know what I mean? It's so gloomy, man. But yeah, they'll put you in the cell with somebody, you don't know who they are, you don't know what they in there for, and you might not know what to do in those situations and shit. And once that door shut, man, it's just you and him in there. You know what I mean? So like sometimes like you will have to establish yourself from the rip, man. And you know, a lot of time a dude here already have his knife in there with him and shit. You know what I mean? So it was just fortunate that, not trying to brag or boast, and I ain't trying to do none of that or glorify anything. Any jail I ever went in, once I got on a compound, everybody knew I was in the jail. You know what I mean? Because of I carry something with me, and I brought that with me from the streets. You know what I mean? So when I came into jail, once classification was over and they put me on a block, everybody that knew me or knew of me and was cool with me, they knew I was in the jail. You know what I'm saying? That don't work for everybody. You know what I mean? M3, lots of mentally ill in there talking to the cookie man. Yeah, they got blocked for the whole mentally ill. They got whole blocks for nothing but criminally insane. They are criminally insane. And guess what? Some of them work, you can work your way out of there, but I've seen a lot of them dudes come out off that block and snap out again, man. Snap out again, man. You can wake up in the morning, going to breakfast, and next thing you know, you see another man running down the stairs, stabbing another man. You know what I mean? Like, that's not even, it becomes, you become desensitized to those type of things. People, man, I seen a man pressing up on a man one time, and the man hit him in the side of his face, right there on the side of his eye with a lock and a sock, and popped his motherfucking eye out. That nigga eye was hanging the fuck out, yo. He got hit with a lock and a sock, because that's one of the weapons. You put a lock in your sock, and if you ain't, and that's, you go to work with that. I'm not built for any of this either. That's why I take my meds and call the feds. I feel you, M3. Prison like war, it's not a natural thing. Not at all, L. That's why when people be like, we at war on YouTube and all that shit, like, nah, I can't fuck with you. If you think that was war, then you're not a person who I want to indulge with in any type manner. You know what I'm saying? Get away from me with that shit, because I know what that shit is like. You know what I mean? People scared to come. I see people literally have almost starved themselves because they scared to come off the motherfucking block. They don't want to come out they cell because it's so dangerous out there. You know, it's a world within a world. It's a whole different world in those places, you know. And my thing was, I always I wanted to get out of there unscathed, which I knew wasn't gonna happen because I'm not the baddest man in the land and shit. You know what I'm saying? But one thing I wasn't going to leave without was what I came in there with, and that was my manhood. You know what I'm saying? Because I see people get there, and when I say my manhood, I'm talking about my manhood. I've seen grown men literally get their manhood took. Holmesburg and Graterford looked like dungeons. The atmosphere alone looked medieval. My uncle was there for some time. Later on, he was up at Green. Unadulterated, a truth. Holmesburg is the county. When I was down Holmesburg, it was more murders in Holmesburg than it was up Graterford, man. Green is the notorious spot now. You know, they had Bill Cosby down Graterford. I think they changed the name of it too. But yeah, Green Correctional is the place where our most Supermax and PA is now. You're right, Truth. But yes, very, very medieval. But my thing was, like I said, I was in Holmesburg and it wasn't nothing but killings going on down there. So I thought got upstate, I would be okay. You know what I mean? But everybody gets tested. I'm gonna tell you that. Ain't nowhere in the world you're gonna go to any jail and not get into a fight. Somebody is going to try you. Now, to the extent, you know what I mean, I don't know, but you are going to get tried. Once again, the problems I had were long. They were good. The problems I had when I went to the penitentiary were problems that were only going to be resolved. And like my ops was already in the jail when I got there. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like they already, you know what I'm saying? So I knew I had to deal with that when I got there. You know what I'm saying? So I was already on some, other stuff when I got there. But I also had people there that was there for me and shit. You know what I mean? Because like I said, everybody know I'm in the jail. So I was able to, once that was resolved, anybody else I didn't worry about. It was the issue that I came in there with that I was worried. Once I got that resolved, I just took that time to try to get out of there and shit. But it's easy to get caught up in there because of the level of violence that takes place. You know what I mean? And the way people treat one another. Like everybody's a mark to somebody. You know, everybody's easy pickings, and people will try you, and things happen to people, and the stories that you hear, they may not be 100% accurate, but believe me, it's some truth to them. It's some truth to the fact that one time a guy went in his cell, and he came in there, and you know, he went to commissary, but he ain't get none. He came back with a pink slip. So that means he had no money on his book. So he couldn't get no commissary. So when he came back from chow, he had like a little care package on his bed, on his bunk. You know what I mean? Some cookies and all that. So he going there, damn, somebody looked out. So he ate that shit. You know what I mean? And you know, a couple days later, boy came and was like, yo, you got my shit? He like, what? He was like, I left that package for you. He like, no, I ain't got my money. You gonna have to do something. You know what I mean? And he was weak. The man was weak, and he didn't know the rules and regulations of that. You know what I mean? And it was and the man was bigger than him. He had been in the jail longer than him, and he had a reputation for doing what he was about to do to that man. You know what I mean? So I'm a young man myself. I seen that. I didn't actually see the act, but I know what the fuck happened. You know what I'm saying? I know what the fuck happened. And the way a lot of you, I ain't taking no shots at nobody, but the way a lot of these men act on here, that what happened to them. Because they run their mouth too much. Talking to get you in trouble in places like this. You can't talk too much. You can't be a big old this, and you're not the toughest guy in the place at all. The first time I ever seen the Lucky Charms, y'all know the stars, the moons, and the is when I was in jail, when a motherfucker caught me with a fucking punch between my eyes and shit, and from a fight and shit, man. You know what I mean? I seen, you know what I mean? So I don't give a fuck how good you can fight. It's somebody in there that can fight a little better and shit. But the thing about that is holding your own. Holding your own. You know what happened when you get punched in your nose, in the middle of the nose? Y'all know what happened? You get the raccoon jaws and shit. So I walked around the compound for like, what? About 10 days with the raccoon eyes from getting punched in the nose and shit. You know what I mean? But ask me if I lost the fight. I don't give a fuck. It didn't matter because I fought back. I wasn't going to let nobody take nothing from me. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you had to doing that. And the thing about the fight is everybody know that before we fight, I'm asking you, is that all we're going to do? Win, lose, or draw, we're going to leave it alone. That was always my rule in jail. If I fight you, man, is we going to do? I hope you don't want no more work, because the next work, I'm going to the next level, because I ain't got time to be fighting every time I see you. I ain't had no problem going in this cell right here, that solitary confinement cell. I did 18 months. I did an 18-month stretch in that motherfucker all by myself for getting busy on a motherfucker in there about some bullshit. You feel me? So I had no problem being in those places and shit. I've done more time in prison than my son is alive. You know what I mean? I've done over a decade in these places, man. So can't nobody on here tell me shit about being in there and how a motherfucker becomes desensitized to certain things and how certain things you can't condone and shit. You know what I mean? Because I'm from Philadelphia. I remember I was transferred to a federal prison called Lompoc. It's in California. It's in Lompoc, California. When I got there, I didn't know nobody. I didn't know nobody. You know what I'm saying? So they told me, they asked me about my affiliations and shit, you know, and my affiliation was I was affiliated with the Philadelphia Muslims at the time. So they told me where the PA car was at. So when I got to the PA car, I still didn't know nobody. It wasn't like everybody was from my hood and all that. It was people from all over Pennsylvania, guys that I never heard of. You know what I mean? But everybody knew that I was a stand-up dude. You know what I mean? And I had to adapt. You know what I mean? And find some type. But that's how niggas become loyal to one another. Whereas though I'll go to the shower with you. You know what I mean? And I'll sit there on the brick while you in the shower putting the soap on your face because I don't want nobody to run up on you and stab you in the shower. That's the loyalty that I come from. And that come from the streets. I was made to always watch my brother's back. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I appreciate loyalty in people. You know what I mean? Yeah, but like, yeah. So a lot of times people will come to these places, man, and they'll lose themselves. You know, I seen a lot of people like really lose their mind in there. Like people can't handle being in this solitary confinement for that sort of period of time. It's not designed, it's inhumane. It's inhumane, you know, but it also helped, like for a guy like me, I found myself in there. I was able to come out and get me a motherfucking ABE certification, adult basic education certification. I was able to do a whole lot of things when I came out the motherfucking bang because I found myself, shit clicked for me in there. I couldn't click amongst all the wildness because I just would get involved in it. You know what I'm saying? But when I came out, I understood how to maneuver through all that. You know what I mean? But it's very hard for a lot of people because these places are not for rehabilitation. They're just to house you, you know? And I've been told by many correctional officers, man, I don't give a fuck what y'all do to yourself. Just don't hit my officer. Don't put your hand on my Don't put your hand on my coworker. Y'all can kill each other. They don't care. They don't care. And the same hate people be having for people on the outside, it'd be the same way in there. You know, you might get visits every week. And a guy, he don't get visits. You know, he might do something. He might just start a problem with you so you can get a ticket and get your visits knocked off. You know what I mean? Because it's automatically it's a miserable place. You know what I mean? And that's why it separates the men from the boys and shit. You know what I mean? Jailhouse people for 1 year or less, or people waiting trial or resolution on their case. Prison is mostly for terms longer than a year, and those cases have. Yes, Living Queen. When you in the, I always tell people, jail is different from prison. Jail is a county where they might send you to sleep it off. You might get a little fine and go to jail. But prison, most times you're doing years. Years. You know what I mean? No months, years. Even the feds, you're doing years. But the feds just sentence you in months and make you go crazy because you might not know how to count that well. And the feds say, we sentence you to 283 months. And you like, what the fuck is that? And then you go to counting and you realize, damn, man, I got that motherfucker gave me close to 10 years, then in 12 years. You feel me? So yeah, like I'd rather listen to these stories than argue with disrespectful strangers who have no boundaries. Much respect. Yeah. I appreciate that, man, mines, because that's my thing too. Like, yeah, I'd rather talk about something that people might want to hear than to be here dragging somebody down for I ain't gonna get nothing out of it. You ain't gonna get nothing out of it. Um, and plus, you gotta understand. Like I know the me and mine. She done had to do her thing with a lot of people. But y'all gotta understand. I don't know where y'all looking at it from, what perspective. But I never really seen her just jump out on a motherfucker. I've always seen her respond. You know, I really, she's always responded to the things that been done to her. You know what I mean? And that's some real shit. You know what I mean? That's some real shit. Yeah, but you know what I also found about Graterford prison, man. Like, how you like you can be in a cell, right? And somebody tell you like, damn, bro, like they found the boy dead in here, man. And you be like, wait, like same bunk, your bunk. Yeah, that's what boy got stabbed all up and shit. Yeah, this the because I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. One day there was a situation where a guy had a problem with a couple guys, right? They got this stuff called we don't get no stove in the state prisons. There's no microwaves and shit like that in there. What they give you is this water, and it's 180 degrees hot at all times. And they got a big old ice machine. So guys line up for their hot water and they ice at night or whenever they want to eat. So he got this situation going on with these guys and whatever. So he goes and gets him a pot. He puts it in a jug of 180 water. He puts that in his bowl. Then he go to a cell. He takes, y'all know what magic shave is? Y'all know what magic shave is, right? If you know what magic shave is, they use that to take your hair off, bald, if you want to take your hair off. It's like that Nair and shit like that, but it's got more acid in it. So he threw that in with the hot water, the 180 water, and then he put baby oil in it. And he mixed that shit all up together. And then he went back on the block and he threw that shit in them niggas' face, man. I seen niggas' face just melting and shit. That shit, it went from brown skin to the pink to the from brown skin to brown skin, pink, then white. Then white. You know what I mean? Yeah, threw that shit on them niggas, right in them niggas' face, yeah. Inmates know they can create some shit from I seen, listen, they used to give us these big giant turkey wings and shit. I used to call them seagull wings because I was like, man, these ain't no goddamn turkey. This ain't turkey. They got these joints off the beat. These seagull wings. I seen a boy take the bone from the wing, right? And sharpen that motherfucker up, man, and stab a nigga with that shit. He sharpened that end of that bone up, man, and he stabbed the motherfucker up with that joint like an ice pick. You know what I mean? You right. They make a weapon out of damn near anything. You know what I mean? Out of damn near anything. Absolutely. Absolutely. My shit, I had a joint that was made. If you ever see a metal bunk bed, the slacks on the metal bunk bed, I had a piece of that slack, black tape wrapped all around it, carved down at the end real sharp. I used to call it a Glock. You know what I mean? I used to put that Glock on me, go out. You know what I'm saying? Put my shit on me. I call that motherfucker a Glock. You know what I mean? But yeah, niggas make chicken bone. Yeah, that fucking big ass turkey wing, man. That nigga made a fucking ice pick out of that shit, man. You know? You can make a cushion, but them cheese sandwiches, man. I don't eat they cheese is different. I know if you eat a lot of cheese, you get constipated, but you eat one cheese sandwich in jail, you won't go to the bathroom for days, man. I don't know what be in their food, man. Well, I do know what they food. Because listen, when I was working in the kitchen, man, I found some shit that they was feeding us that had a skull and a crossbow on that shit. The juice. That shit had a skull and crossbow on that motherfucker, man. And that's what they was making the juice with. Story about a murder. What about him? What Uncle Albert? I saw a murder about a murder. Story about a murder. Oh yeah, so yeah, that shit wasn't for human consumption, man. But they was drinking that shit, that juice, man. That's why a lot of people come home their body messed up, man, from eating the jail food. Like the skull on the juice. Yeah, man. That shit messed me up, yo. I really never ate my whole stay in jail, man. I was in there a decade plus. I never ate their food. I wasn't one of those guys who I go down to the chow hall and get me a loaf of bread. I mean, I shoot down there, get me a loaf of bread and shit, you know what I mean? Or if they got chicken, on Fridays they be having chicken. Y'all know. And yo, that's another day when people get fucked up. Like days, man, like when we have chicken day, man, nigga might die on chicken day, yo. For real. Like y'all think I'm joking or it's funny, man. This shit's so serious to me. That's why I can't really do the YouTube beef and shit, because I seen niggas beef over chicken in the penitentiary and the nigga get his head split open to the white meat. You feel me? You know what I mean? So yeah, nigga like me, like, yo, I don't go to chow hall that much and shit. I go down there and get me some bread. I go down there to get me some chicken. If the gang call me, the gang might need me to talk about something. I might shoot down there just to bust it up. You know, I had a routine in there, you know, because breakfast is like 6 a.m. So I'm up for breakfast, you know. First time I saw somebody stabbed up, I was about 7. He was a student at BOP, and I was in the waiting room for Children's Hospital, and it was still in South Philly. You know how far back that was. Yeah, bro, you went to BOP, Truth? I wanted to go to BOP because I wanted to go to BOP, man, because they had tailoring in there, man. You know, I'm a fly nigga and shit, so I wanted to make my own clothes and shit. Back then, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, BOP was a pretty good school at one time. And plus, I'm gonna tell you something else about BOP, Truth. Beck, the coach, the basketball coach at BOP, Ernie Beck, right? Now, it's a guy who was assistant coach. His name is Jimmy Wilson. Back in the day, he my old head. Back in the day, Jimmy Wilson got drafted by the Chicago Bulls, right? So he became an assistant coach at BOP. And when I was coming up and shit, he was trying to get me to go to BOP and shit. That's when Kevin Beeford and all them was there and shit. Oh, you went to Brook. Who you go to Brook with? Did you go to Brook with Tony Costa and them? Jeff Tucker, Ricky Tucker and all them, Stevie Black and them, Tony Costa. Because they used to, Brook had that, when I was in the pub, when I went to the pub, Brook had that team back then. Yeah, but yeah, so a lot of situations, man, in prison, being in those situations. Okay, yeah, Tony and Steve. Yeah, oh, you went with C9 too? Oh, that's right. You told me, didn't you go to Lou funeral too? I know you went to Clarence funeral. Yeah, Louis Lloyd, Black Magic, played for the Houston Rockets. Got caught up in that scandal and shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, Ricky Tucker. I know. Yeah, I played against most of them guys come from my era. They in my era, so I played it. I played. Some of them a little older than me, but I played against a lot of them because I think when I was because when I was a freshman, I think Ricky Tucker and Rico Washington and Tony Costa and all them, I think they was juniors and shit. You know what I mean? But I used to play for Eddie's Magic. Man, I played for Eddie's Magic Unlimited League when I was 14, bro. That was one of the biggest street teams in the city back then. Eddie's Magic. Yeah, I tell you, like me and my man was in one of these cells not together. He was next door because he's solitary confinement. And I'm gonna tell y'all, man, him was in there like maybe a month or two together before he started asking me what it mean when his teeth start sweating. And I'm like, what you mean? Then teeth sweat. I said, damn, my young boy going crazy over there, man. And by the time it was all said and done, young boy wasn't the same no more. He wasn't the same no more. And he got caught up because his cousin told him to take the case. He's like, you ain't never been locked up before. Take the case. And he did it, man. And they gave that nigga an 8-piece chicken McNugget. And that young boy ain't never been the same since, man. Yeah. Yeah, that shit. I seen a guy, man, and the thing about it was we was from we had a beef at another jail before, me and this guy. But I really didn't I liked the guy and shit. He used to work out a lot. He used to lift weights and shit. And like he was, damn, he was dedicated to it, and I didn't have no problem with it, but he had a problem with me, man. And he used to give me. We come out on the yard, and we'd be walking the yard, and he'd see me, and he just had an ice grill on me, my ice grilling me down and shit, But I never said nothing because he never said nothing and shit. One day that motherfucker had an aneurysm. That motherfucker had an aneurysm and fell out. Boom. They took him to the hospital. He came out the hospital, man. He was not the same, man. He could barely walk. He was walking with one of those walkers and shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. And I used to look at him and shit. He didn't have the gangster grill on me no more, man. But that I used to look, I felt sorry for him, man. But he still thought that I never had a problem with him, and that happened to him, man. And it was just, and he couldn't go home. As fucked up as he was, my thing was, damn, they won't even let him go home, and he can barely walk. I lost at and say Kenyatta Johnson is now the city council. Yes, he is. Kenyatta Johnson is. B-ball was your bag, boy. I ain't gonna talk about my B. Hey, Ruth. I ain't even gonna talk about my B-ball days because they would be. Yo, you know how I used to give it up on some. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, my motherfucking mother house was a shrine with trophies and medals for. You know what I mean? For my athletic prowess and shit, But man, where we come from, man. That motherfucking paper chase was crazy, man. You know what I mean? That I got kicked off the step real early, man, in that money, man, chasing that money, man. that shit became addictive and shit. You know, like how them niggas was strung out on coke. You remember, man, how them niggas was strung out on coke? We was strung out on that on getting some paper, man. You know what I mean? It wasn't a day go by that we wasn't out there. Like that's what we did, bro. And that shit is an addiction, bro. You know what I mean? You know? And I got my man, you know, I tapped in with D Nice and shit. And y'all, I got a interview coming next week sometime. I got a brother who was incarcerated. He's from a city, you know, he was I'm not going, you know, because we're not here to glorify the street shit. What? Hey, Skinny Perry from my neighborhood. Truth, Skinny Perry Jackson lit down the street from me. I come up under Perry. Yeah, man, that's my old head. All the Jacksons could ball. He went to Newman. Yeah, Perry, my old head, man. We lived on the same block. We both from Jackson Street. Yup. Damn, you know Perry and shit. Perry, Nate, Craig, all of them. I come up under them, man. You know what I mean? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I come, yeah, Carl Ford and all them. I'm playing with them niggas since I could pick up a basketball, bro. That's why I got my shit. Yo, yeah, so you already know. Y'all older, I'm lost. Yes, M3. You don't know none of those guys. Yeah, Jerome, listen. I used to hang with me and Jerome used to be together sometimes, but me and Tony, that was my competitor, that was my competition back then. Tony Jackson. Me and him was the same age. Jerome was older than me. Yeah, me and Tony was rivals and shit. But he went to Newman. He was the point guard at Newman and shit. You know what I mean? When Tony was the point guard at Newman and shit, I remember that because you might know my old head Cooley and shit. That's when I had started first. That's when I started getting in real serious trouble around them, bro. You know what I mean? I wound up at Lima Detention Center and shit. Early in the game. Who's D? You know, if I give you, I don't want to give you his real name, but he from North. He had Diamond Street popping. The boy from Diamond Street. You know what I'm talking about? M3, you know what I'm talking about? Jerome was a musician. I didn't know that. I didn't know Jerome was a musician, Truth. Yeah, they live right down the street from me, man. Good guys, man. They were some good guys, man. That's my son's old gang. Right. Yes, yup. Yeah. So yeah, if you got people that's incarcerated, you know, you should reach out to them, man, because like even on days like Martin Luther King Day, it can be hard for them and stuff, man. You know, because all the time you won't, you know, because sometimes, man, I've been in situations where the guards will they won't give you your mail. You know what I mean? They won't put your commissary slip in. You know what I mean? So you can't really piss them off. A lot of times you ain't got a dick ride, but you gotta be diplomatic. in a whole lot of situations and shit. And then here I go again, you know what I'm saying? But you know, me being a person who's going to automatically be a leader and shit, you know what I mean? I'm going to always have to interact with those type of people, you know what I mean? So I had to learn how to, you know what I'm saying, not be as aggressive, and you know, you learn a lot of different tactics from being, because it's all kind of, you meet all kind of men in there, all kind of men in there, all kind, every man under the sun. Salute to you, Slewfoot. Good to see you, bro. You meet all kind of guys in there, and you meet some of the most talented individuals in there. I'm gonna tell y'all, man. The boy used to play the trumpet, the sax, one of them horns, man. And I mean, he used to play the horn. He could make a motherfucker go to sleep. He could play any song with that horn, man. And he said, bro, my band couldn't make it in Philadelphia. They said they leaving Philly and they going to California. And he said, man, he was broke. He had wife and kids. So he was like, man, I'm not going. I can't go. They left and they blew up and became Frankie, Beverly, and Mays. And he wound up trying to rob a bank and come into jail. And man, he blew that horn, man. I was like, damn, bro. And he was just like, if I just would have, but I had women and kids. I had wife and child. Hey, moms, how you doing, moms? He said he had a wife and kids, and he just couldn't take that leap, man. And that be a lot of times people can't take that leap, man. You know, and they still thriving to this day, man. I don't know what he doing, you know. But that was heavy for me there, man. I seen it was a brother in there who he used to write music for y'all might not be familiar with her. Her name is Jean Carn, a Philadelphia artist, and also Phyllis Hyman. He used to write music for them. You know what I mean? He got a life sentence and shit. You know what I mean? You find a lot. It was a Caucasian boy in there, Murphy. Man, him was real tight and shit. This motherfucker had a tryout with the Pittsburgh Pirates. He was a shortstop. We played on the same softball team together, man. You couldn't get nothing past this dude, bro. Cool seeing Steady B did what they did because they was trying to keep up with Will after he got his record deal and moved to LA. Facts, man. Hey, yo, listen, bro. Steady and Cool, they wasn't even into that, bro. I'm gonna tell you truth. The boy Mark from 13th Street, you know that's they rappy on that. That was really Mark thing. Mark was a bank robber. Steady and Cool, they thought they was gonna come up. Yeah, they was trying to keep up with Will and shit, man. You know what I mean? And plus, on the low, Cool C owed AJ a couple $100,000, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. He was way out there, bro. But guess what? Steady B told on him. Steady B not on death row. Steady B, he on the compound and shit. He walk around every day. Cool C still on death row. Oh yeah, bro. Listen, bro. We got Philly International. We got Philly International Records. You know what I mean? Like that's Icon, bro. Icons come out of there, bro. Everything the OJ sing came from Philly International. Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, Gene Carn, the Staple Singers. I can go on and on, bro. Like you know what I'm saying? Gamble and Huff, man. I mean, that music thing, man, is heavy in Philly, man. You know what I mean? Truth, you remember what's the name from up 52nd Street? Schoolie D from up Parkside. I used to ball up there too. I used to ball for real up there. How about that, Roof? How about 5-2 Parkside, my nigga? Hey, you know what I'm talking about? How you survive making some of the most I still make meals that I made while I was incarcerated, y'all. Hey, Roof, ain't nothing for me to whip up a chi for my son, bro. Man, his mom be on her 9 cooking days and shit. Man, I'll whip up a chi for my son. He love that shit, bro. Look. I do it the same way I do it if I was in my cell. Hey man, I'm gonna tell you, yo. I can bake you, not bake you, but I can make you a cake. I can make you a cake without an oven. All I need is maybe 10 honey buns. And you'll have a layered cake. Yeah, man. They go for like $25. You know what I mean? Or 7 packs of stamps and shit. Because when they took the cigarettes out of penitentiaries and stuff, y'all know people can't smoke in jail no more. Because cigarettes used to be the money. So now you gotta, like, I'm gonna tell y'all a story, man. One time I was on because I got another brother that I was going to do an interview with. But I'm going to tell y'all something. One time when I got, when you got multiple cases, right, and you get found guilty, they send you up to your place. And then when your date come around, they bring you back down for your case. So one time they call it, or writ. You on writ. Yeah, so one time I come down from off writ. I come from this joint called Monohoy. Truth, you ever heard of Monohoy? That's up there in the mountains and shit. So I come from Monohoy. I'm coming down to Pick. I'm coming down to Pick on writ. So when I get there, hey, my opinion, how you doing tonight? Good to see you. Happy Sunday to you. So I'm coming down on writ, right? And ain't no cigarettes in the jail. So I'm talking to my peoples. I get in contact with my peoples and shit. And I was kind of I ain't had my money and shit right yet, but I had my peoples on the street. So I tell my young boy, he was already there. He had a situation. So what we did was I told my peoples to buy me a carton of cigarettes. So they bought the carton and they gave them to the correctional officer. You know what I mean? I had to give him $1,000 though. So I gave the correctional officer my peoples gave him the money, and he brought the cigarettes in there for us. You know what I'm saying? So now we got a carton of cigarettes in there. And I think we made $6,500 off that carton of cigarettes. Yeah. That's why I be telling niggas I live better than a lot of you niggas in jail than y'all did on the streets. Easy money. You know what I mean? Easy money. My folks come up on a visit, you know what I mean? Boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? So how a nigga can't hustle on it? You get money all kinds of way. But I've seen people get bottles of liquor in there, man. Bottles of liquor. They be selling shots. They be selling shots damn near $60 a shot. And the nigga pay for it. Niggas will actually pay for that shit. They actually pay for it. They got these slips called D forms.
They'll fill that shit out and send it. That money will come right out of your account and go right to your peoples. You know what I mean? And go right to your peoples. You know, so it's certain way you can make your way in there if you're not a dickhead. If you're not if you don't think you the big bad wolf, you the baddest man in the land and shit, you'll survive because you know what I mean. I seen the baddest man in the land and shit. His name was Gino. You know what I mean? That motherfucker was so motherfucking notorious that they had to shackle him from head and foot, ankles, with the shackle going between his leg. You know what I mean? And they walked Big Gino down the compound. But guess what? I happen to be in the hole with Big Gino, right next door to him and shit. You know what I mean? They was like, niggas was scared to death of this. I couldn't believe how scary motherfuckers was of Big Gino, man. He was a good dude, man. Big Gino sharpened my man. Gino used to play chess next door to each other, man. Gino knew every form of martial art. You know what I mean? Gino was from Pittsburgh, but he had terrorized the Pittsburgh state system so much in Pittsburgh that they sent him to Philadelphia prisons and shit. You know what I mean? And they had him down in administrative custody and shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Real good dude, man. That's my man and shit. Niggas was scared to death of him. I know why they said Gino killed 2 men with his bare hands and shit. He knew every and he was maybe about 6'6". You know what I mean? He about 6'6". He was maybe about 215, all muscle. All motherfucking muscle, man. He had this big giant bush. Gino had the big ass afro and shit, man. You know what I mean? And he used to call me Radio. He'd be like, Radio, what you doing over there? Put your board together. I remember they shipped Gino out in a helicopter, man. Peace to the fam, too. Back at you, Too Big. Right back at you, bro. Yeah, I met a lot of people that people will be really afraid of in the street and did some real shit. They be some real sharp dudes, some real intellectual. Because I met this one brother and shit that he got involved in his best friend. He caught his best friend sleeping with his wife. He actually caught him in the act. And he had a sword and he chopped her head off. And his best friend jumped out the window. And he wound up getting a life sentence for that. But he taught me how to speak Arabic. He taught me how to read it. He taught me how to. He was teaching me how to write it. Like he was he was smart as shit, man. Like, yeah, and he did that. He don't remember. He talks about it. He talked about it candidly to me. What happened and shit. And he was like, man, if he's real remorseful about that shit, man. You know what I mean? And they ain't even give him the crime because PA is tough, man. It's a Commonwealth state, man. They tough here. Ain't no self-defense. We ain't got no self-defense over here. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got no stand your ground. We ain't got no open carry or none of that shit, man. So if you get busy out here, you gotta be prepared to deal with all the penalties and consequences and shit. And guess what? I'm still out here, man. I've dealt with all the penalties and consequences that come with running up in these streets. It'll either run you into these prisons and you be in a place like that, or it'll run you into the grave. You know what I mean? And then now it's sending niggas to the crazy house. You got niggas that ain't been to jail going to the crazy house now because it's so hard out here in real life and shit. You know? But and that's why I see why a lot of people run to YouTube to run away from what's really going on in their real lives and shit. and because I do it myself, you know what I mean? Because my real life it's hectic, but it's beauty in my hectic. Because my hectic is it's my hectic. I know the route. It's my blueprint. You know what I'm saying? And I run to YouTube to decompress, like Living Queen said last night at the jam session. And that word just stuck with me. Decompressing, you know what I mean? And I see that that's hard for people, man. That's hard for people, man. And that saying misery loves company. I always thought that, like you can't. It's no company for misery for me. I don't accompany misery. You know what I mean? Because I know what real misery is, man. And misery is seeing a guy on the phone who's been incarcerated for maybe a year and a half, and a nigga telling him, don't call here no more. Don't, you know what I mean? And she just told him that she loved him. Do you know the anguish on that nigga? I've seen that anguish on people's faces, man. I've seen people come off the phone, come off a visit, and be like, yeah, my mother died. My father died. Y'all could never understand that pain, yo. I seen it in a lot of men's eyes. So when I say I'm not for games, I'm really not for games. I'm a grown-ass man. I don't want to play, man. It cut real deep, bro. It cut real. I know them situations, man. And it ain't nothing you can do about it. You can't do nothing about. Listen, bro. It's nothing you can do about being called to the chaplain's office. You already know somebody in your family done died. You just don't know who. And you got to walk from this compound across the compound to the chaplain's office. I seen niggas pass out on the compound before they get there, man. If you got sons and shit, and you got young sons, man, and man, I know the women. I try to put this in the right fashion, because I lost my father at an early age. You know what I mean? I lost my father to murder at an early age and shit. My father was murdered. You know what I'm saying? He was a gangster. You know what I'm saying? So he got what he got. I also had a stepfather, though. He was a gangster too, but he wasn't murdered. But the thing is, I always say, your boys, man. The way we raise our boys and the way we have to protect our boys, because I believe that the obstacles for the young black male are more. It's more of them than for the young black female. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that we got to not watch our daughters, our girls, but to me, my girls seem to understand and comprehend. Where my boys, they just understand. And then they got to put their hand in the fire to comprehend. And that's why I say we got to be able to instill certain values and things in our boys early, because if you don't, you know what I mean, if you don't do it early, they are come to have these misconceptions, and you don't want that in the male child. You know what I mean? So you got to get him to understand and comprehend. You know what I mean? You tell your girls like boom, 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 she get it. The body count too. More brothers in prisons and murder. Yes, we lose the black male to so many different things because you gotta understand, like, when a guy wakes up and he puts his gun on his hip, he ain't thinking about killing nothing but another black man. Ain't nothing on his mind but killing another black man. He even probably got his target picked out. He ain't thinking about killing no Caucasian or taking no money and shit like that. You know, that's why I tell you everything is different out here. You know what I mean? It's different. It's very different. People don't understand the value. People don't even value their own life. So it's nowhere in the world you can value mine. You know what I mean? If you not even you can't, if you don't have any respect for yourself, how you going to respect somebody else? You're going to forever cross boundaries because you don't respect yourself. And that's another thing that you learn in prison quickly. Respect. The slightest thing can be disrespect. The slightest thing. Like walking past my cell and peeping in. That's total disrespect and get you killed. Get your ass stabbed up and threw off a tear. Peeping in my cell. Walking in somebody's cell without knocking. That shit'll get you killed. Cutting this line on somebody in the chow hall. Being on somebody's phone. Because you know they really got time slots for phones. You can't just get on the phone. You know what I mean? I seen people get killed about them phones. Like I said, I was a motherfucking phone man. I need the horn. I was one of them guys who needed the horn. You know what I mean? Because, you know, I need to talk to my lawyer and my mother. You feel me? So I needed that phone. And I would do whatever it took to make sure that I got at least a half hour on the phone 2 times a day, every day. You dig? You know what I mean? That's me. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I see niggas get killed about them motherfucking phones. You know? Man, them jokers, man. Because it's hard money. Listen, can you imagine? Look, imagine this, y'all. You on a block. All right, it's 60 cells, right? It's 2 men in each cell, right? You got 3 direct phones. You got 2 collect phones, right? Now, you got the Spanish guys got a phone. You know what I mean? Whoever else is holding it down might be mostly, it used to be, when I was there, would be North Philly, they have a phone, and South Philly got a phone. You know what I mean? Everybody else got to wait in line and sign in the book, and you get 5 minutes on the phone. So that means you got to wake up real early because the phone only be on from, the phones come on at 7:30 in the morning, and slot time, they call it slot time. Niggas who got 15 minutes to a half hour. So the phone's only on from 7:30 to 9, and the rest of that is slot time. So if you don't get your little 5 minutes in, that shit might take you the day. You might not never get on. You might not get on the phone till you got enough money to pay to get on that bitch. You feel me? I'm not standing in that line for one. You know what I mean? It ain't gonna happen. I ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go, and if I'm from South Philly, so most jails, if I've come in, if we usually holding the phone down, so I don't have nothing to worry about and shit. I just, but there's been times when I've had to get my own phone and shit, you know what I'm saying? And because I've been locked up OT, I've been locked out of state and shit like that, you know what I mean? I remember I was locked up in this county in New Jersey and shit, Hoboken and shit. They had a lot of Jamaicans out there and shit, you know what I mean? And Hoboken and shit, them motherfuckers was giving out razors and shit for shaving in your little care package and shit. So they gave me my little care package and shit. I went in the cell and shit, The first thing I did was I broke the razor down and shit. Boop, 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 boop. I broke that motherfucker down and shit. You know what I mean? I got that motherfucker where I can put it with the between my hold it in a way where I won't cut my fingers and shit. You know what I mean? And I sliced the top of my and put it right there on where my pocket would be. I put that shit right there. I got the razor and shit. So the Jamaicans, the Jamaican got the phone. So I go in there and shit because this is a county jail, so Hoboken, New Jersey, and I'm from Philly, man. I'm like, these niggas ain't doing much, and they giving out razors in this joint. They ain't doing much. So I went in the phone and I got the phone and shit. So I'm on the phone and the boy, he coming there. He's you going to get no, that's my time and shit. He said, yo, you want my time and shit. I look around, what the fuck he talking to? You know what I mean? He like, you on my time and shit. So I told my peoples, I was like, yo, I'm gonna call you back and shit. Boom. So I hang up and shit. Let him get on the phone and shit, you know what I mean? So, I know. So when I leaving out the phone room, I hear him, yeah, you know what I mean? Niggas, you know what I mean? Yeah, that crazy, Nick, you know what I'm saying? Boom. But I know he ain't the guy and shit. So I go back and I got a celly in there. I say, yo, bro, who running the phones and shit? What the phone situation like? He like, oh, son, oh man, the Jamaican boys, man, they got the phone down. I was like, what about the boy who the third? He was like, man, he be with them Jamaican boys, this, that, and the other and shit. I'm like, cool and shit. So I stayed in the cell till they locked it up. So they lock up and shit, you know what I mean? They call chow and shit, you know what I mean? Called chow and shit. We come out for chow. I see the boy, they all run like two dudes. They run over to the Jamaican boy and shit. This nigga got on slippers and she got his slippers on and shit. Yeah, he talking all this. Yeah, the boy, yeah. Yeah. So I go over there. I say, yo, I got my razor out already and shit. I said, you got the phone? I said, you got the phone? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna need the phone when you come out. He said, yeah, man, how much you got? And I just whip him, $1.50. Buck. See, that's what you got to do. You have to make an example of somebody in front of everybody, and that will stop most of the niggas won't fuck with you. It's called making a movie. I $1.50 the shit out of that rascal. Buckle with the razor. I cut my own hand with that motherfucker. I cut my own shit. You know what I mean? Over a fucking phone call. All because I needed to use the phones, yo. That shit is so serious, man. That shit's so serious and shit. That shit's so serious to me, man. I don't wish jail on him. I don't, you know what I mean? Jail guards are worse than the AK. The guards are, man, listen, man. Do you know how much money some of them guards make? You know what I mean? Like the boy, it's been guard, man, listen, bro. It's been guards, man, that, you know what I mean? That, yo, they bring, some of them guards bring their work in there, bro, for real. Like, for real. Like the guards be making buku money, man. If a nigga in there getting money, you can imagine the person who brought the shit in there for him getting. You know what I mean? Because I'm talking about, man, listen, bro, I'm going to tell you, like, a person, say you, when back in the day when I was incarcerated, right? say if I were to get some cocaine in the jail and shit, you would pay $25 for the cocaine that I got, right? On the streets, the amount would cost you $25. In jail, you would have to pay me $125 for it. You feel me? And then you would take it and you would make your money back. And then if you get high, you still have something to get high with. So could you imagine what the guy who brought it in made? Who needs crack in jail? What? There's plenty crackheads in jail. I seen plenty niggas smoking coke in jail. What you talking about? I told you that shit like the streets. It just ain't no women in there. Niggas be shooting dope in jail. What are you talking about? Nah, man. Ruthless didn't. Ruthless is a Ruthless didn't go to them kind of jails, and Ruthless went straight to the federal institutions. The federal institutions is not as wild as these state joints. You know what I mean? You know, they don't send guys like him to the crime that he was what he did that he don't go to state for. You don't go to the state prison for doing what Roof do. You know what I mean? You go to the cozy joints. You go to those cozy prisons. You know, the Farringtons, the Allen Woods, Danbury. Yeah, I mean, they send a nigga like me to fucking Lompoc. You know what I mean? Beaumont. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's all good. American justice system said free. It's the American justice system is not about rehabilitation. It's about labor. It's free labor. It's about money. It's all about making money. You know what I mean? It ain't about no rehab. Rehab what? Rehab what? Oh man, y'all listen. I've been, oh, I ain't got no duck up there, so I can really stay on here as long as I want. But I don't do, y'all know I don't be real long and shit. I wanted to just get my little Martin Luther King prison live off, man. I wanted to let y'all know that far as issues with my man Code Fan, Binary, shout out to the troll gang, man. Nah, we ain't doing none of that shit. But yeah, you know, my folks they got something to say, they gonna say it, you know what I mean? Shout out to B Code though. Shout out to Ray Triggs, you know what I mean? That's my bike punk, you know, my opinion, you know, Living Queen, my nigga Roof L, you know, the whole HKC, Moms Davis, Cake Adore, Too Big for Skinny Jeans, Slewfoot Slim, you know, all the people that fuck with me, man. And, you know, like, hey, listen, people like YouTube. Shout out to I ain't forget you, bro. Shout out to my man, Truth, man. I appreciate you, Truth, man, coming through, man. People like YouTube, man. People find certain what they may call content entertaining, man. So people, they have cordial relationships with all kind of people in all different kind of chat rooms. You know what I mean? Like that's their thing. Like my thing is, my situation, you know, has never been I would never have a situation with a person because they had a situation. You know what I mean? If the plug shit was the best shit, but I don't fuck with the plug, but my man do, I'm gonna give my man the money to get that shit. You know what I mean? I wouldn't, and I'm not gonna damage their relationship. You know what I mean? Just because me and a certain person don't have a relationship, if you got one with them, that's good for you. My relationship is yours on here, not me, yours, and You know what I mean? That's what people got to understand. And you can't be upset because this person might be in that chat room and that person might be in that chat room. You know what I mean? Like I said, we on YouTube. If you want to decompress, you always welcome to come over here and chill, because that's all we doing over here. But if you're looking for shout out again to my man Slander Guy, if you want to drag people down and all that, they got places. They got DJ Drama for that. They got Slander Guy for that. You know, they got several places for that, and it's all good. But like I said, like ain't no what you call wars or beat. Ain't none of that over here. You know what I'm saying? Ain't none of that jumping off over here, you know. And like I said, man, I done stood in too many federal judges and state judges to ever back down on anything I've ever said about anyone. You know what I mean? You know, that girl was running around calling me a snitch and all that shit, you know, breaking the culture of silence. She decided to jump in on that shit, you know, which is a huge, you know, I ain't even gonna go into it, but, you know, like, yeah, come on now. Liars and snakes. I've been told y'all that, you know, but like I said, we ain't got no smoke for nobody over here. You know what I mean? You know, it's all gravy over here. How else say it's Gucci? But yo, I mean, I've been on here for a minute, y'all. Y'all enjoy y'all Monday. I know everybody I enjoyed this break. It was a nice little break for me. But yeah, I know we got to get back to the grind tomorrow, you know. And yeah, I see y'all around. Appreciate y'all for being here. Everybody have a good night. I'm going.